Greetings, Twilight Struggle fans, and welcome to the ITSL playoffs here on Action Round Zero. I'm Justin Abramson. Executive producer Anton Skott is coming right up. And it's that time of year again as Twilight Struggle's premier tournament begins its postseason. Today, we've got a special treat for you as rather than just one game, we'll have an entire best of three first round series for you out of the Seattle Conference as number 21 seed Justin Kerr takes on 24th seeded Michael Pustilnik. These two players finished with identical 13-7 records this season, with Justin earning side selection privileges in this matchup thanks to a slightly superior strength of schedule. There's a little bit of drama for Justin down the stretch, though, as it looked like he had a chance to win his division, but ended up just a half game off the pace as Chris Gentry took home the crown in the Honolulu division. Michael, on the other hand, finished several games behind, but acquitted himself very well in the Oakland division, which was arguably the league's toughest, sending 6 players to the postseason. The winner of this matchup gets beloved Canadian streamer Max Goldman in the second round, while the loser heads to Cancun for an early offseason. Winner go home Twilight Struggle has arrived, and we plan to bring the very best of the ITSL playoffs to you here on Action Round Zero all postseason long. So strap in, hold tight, and enjoy Twilight Struggle's big dance on Twilight Struggle's biggest stage. Now let's bring in executive producer Anton Scott. Anton, I know the viewers and I appreciate everything you've done and continue to do behind the scenes to make Action Round Zero what it is today, but we're eager to hear your commentary on these games as well, so let's get to it. What do you make of this turn one hand for Justin?
Thank you so much for the wonderful intro there, and I'm glad to finally be casting a game with you. We've been trying for a while now, and our schedules just haven't gelled. And then I realized as we were getting ready to set up here that you and I actually have a game to play against each other. And but we were still like, okay, let's just cast a game instead. Like didn't even cross my mind that we should play a game when we have a time to do this. Anyway, this hand looks like a containment hand to me. What do you think of that?
Yeah, this hand is garbage, but containment potentially saves it. I can hold decall for blockade, maybe think about spacing Nasser. AI War gets you out of Israel. And then the question is, are you going to try and get Europe Dom off? But man, these ops are just so terrible.
Yeah.
So I guess you see what Michael's going to headline and plan from there. But this is a clear containment hand.
Yeah. I think the only way you're going to get Europe here is if your opponent starts going for Asia, maybe. But then they're going to take an Asia Dom instead. Okay.
So a CNS headline, fairly innocuous here. I assume we'll see an Iran coup now.
Yep, it's a big 4-op. Just makes it.
And, I wonder if you just use AI War right this second and go Lebanon, Egypt. But you could also, this is also fine. Makes sense.
See, if I'm the USSR here and I have Middle East, I probably drop it here rather than spend 3 ops to try and get Dom. And then Nasser becomes a lot easier to play. You self-coup Nasser after the scoring, I think.
Yep. Now, also, I do want to point out that certainly, if you would think if Michael had Vietnam, he would have headlined that over CNS, and Justin has decall in his hand, so that leaves only D-stall to take Thailand.
Yeah.
So perhaps a duck coup could be in order here, but otherwise, looks like Justin should be able to get into Thailand, and maybe he'll be able to get into France and score this Dom.
Yeah, maybe. But if I'm Michael here, I would also sense probably, I don't know, you start with CIA there with the 2-op. It feels like, oh, he doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have a flexible hand. He might have some ops now with containment, but it's not a flexible hand. Otherwise, I think you play a 3-op or maybe even a 4-op in there to take Egypt as well.
Yeah, I think you would, if you had a 3, you would have gone 1 Lebanon, 1 Malaysia, and then 2 Egypt, so that the aforementioned play you mentioned, the Iraq Syria play doesn't stop Dom. Okay, and there goes de Gaulle. Wow, 3 right away into Pakistan. Really doesn't want to get cooed there. Suggests maybe he's got the war in his hand.
Yeah.
Justin, for his part, probably happy to see de Gaulle and know that if he fills up France, he's not going to have to deal with de Gaulle immediately.
Yeah.
Of course, there are 2 other Europe attack cards out there.
And that certainly makes it feel like he doesn't have Middle East, which might free up Nasser to do that coup as well. Though, I don't like giving Fidel here. I don't
Okay,
know.
so
I
he gives
think,
Fidel
yeah,
right away. Decall the hold for blockade. So I think I agree. You'd want to save. You want to punt the decision on what to space until later in the turn.
yeah,
Potentially space Nasser, potentially space Fidel, depending on what we see.
yeah. Oh man, I turn one decall. I'm always wary about it. I know I know the reason you might want to. Oh, spacing duck instead of cooing Malaysia.
Very surprised to see that.
That yeah, that's Justin goes off to a quick 5. Yeah, turns out scoring Europe there was easy. You just give Fidel.
Yeah.
Surprised we didn't see the Malaysia coup there. I know not everyone likes it, but I think in this case,
I mean, it basically locks in Asia Dom almost the whole
yeah,
game
yeah,
if you hit that roll. Of
yeah,
course, if you miss, it hands over Thailand and two VPs, which is really bad.
yeah.
So
But you
rolling a
need a
one or a
3,
two on
right?
that's
Like
yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
Uh, what was I saying? Oh, decall in turn 1, like spacing it or not. I don't know because we haven't seen purge, and that purge can hurt next turn if you get, opponent has purge and blockade, and you're sitting there with decall and like,
Yep.
I
Yep.
don't know.
Very, very painful.
Yeah, and here
Yep.
comes
So AI War
the
clearly we're not spacing. So AI
yeah,
War's got to go into Egypt.
yeah,
Might as well just take care of that now. Can't go into Thailand yet, obviously. DEF CON is at 4. So where are you going to put this third op?
yeah. France, it's gonna need it at some point.
Yeah.
Uh, I wonder if should we coup here before we go into Egypt? We're gonna have to coup. We're gonna have to coup at some point, right? So I think either you self coup with Nasser or you defectors coup Iran here, if you're planning on holding decall. But maybe we're spacing
Yeah.
decall and holding defectors. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if we can. I think we're probably holding decall and hope we don't get purged next turn. Um, boy, the Nasser, if the Nasser coup, if you roll a 4, that
Yeah,
it's so amazing. But if you roll a 3,
yeah,
you've just handed over Egypt and Libya with an unscored Middle East, and you could be giving up a real big number there.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know. I think I might take the defectors coup of Iran, lower DEFCON to 3, perhaps tempt Michael if Michael has destall to
yeah.
use destall for 2 in Thailand when I'm not going to be able to get it anyway.
I know, I know. I think, especially you get that Europe off. Like you have. I don't want to say initiative here, but you have a lot of wiggle room all of a sudden now that you have those 5 VPs.
Yeah, and then if you get the coup, you take a 3-op coup in Iran, and now you're not losing any points. Okay, so he spaces decall, which it
Yeah.
seemed like you were in favor of. Do you like that play?
I don't like it before blockade. I'd rather put it
Yeah.
into blockade than space it, but then I mean then you're obviously holding it to AR6. But I think this is a classic it depends kind of moment where I have a hard time putting it into words, but the feel to me with this kind of hand is that it would be better to space it, but not on AR4. But I guess it's
Yeah.
a wait and see. Like you're hoping maybe opponent tries to coup Panama and fails, but like Michael's gonna want to keep DEFCON high anyway. So yeah,
Yeah, now he's doing a sneaky walk toward Thailand.
yeah,
See, this is a little bit of a problem.
yeah,
So
and
yeah, I
putting
was thinking defect. Yeah, sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
sorry, no, putting 2 in Burma instead of 1 in Burma and 1 in India. That's a bit of a threat right there. That's the
Yeah,
Dom
I
and
wasn't
the
even thinking about that.
walk. Yeah,
Yeah. So I was thinking defectors coup and then AI war into Egypt and then give Nasser. Nasser goes, the 2 ops of Nasser goes into Libya.
yeah,
But now the Michael making that a bit uncomfortable with
yeah,
that walk.
yeah. Okay, he
Oh, and he
makes the
gets the
space or
roll.
the roll. Sorry, the roll, not space. But are we gonna see Asia scoring here? If so, kudos to Michael.
It looks like no.
No, no,
What we should see is perhaps India, Laos, and Syria would be my play if we could get that.
yeah. And
If you're
India's not
Michael, if he's
even
got a
essential,
three,
I think. But I guess it's good IP war protection. So, ooh, yeah.
we're going to give Japan and just take South Korea.
Ooh, I don't know about that, but 2
Just
into
do
South
make the
Korea and then 1 into India and 1 into Laos, I think.
Yeah, I like that much better. Unless we're holding IP war, unless that's our hold card,
Yeah.
which maybe it is. Okay, so we cooed out Nasser, but boy, that kind of, yeah, you definitely want to hold defectors and not AI war.
Yeah.
But you coup out Nasser, it kind of is all for naught
And
if you
DEFCON
lose
going
the
up to
war.
4 now too. I don't like that Egypt at all, but I don't like leaving Thailand at 3. Or 2,
Yeah.
sorry. Thailand's going to need every influence it can get.
Yeah, if you're going to go into Thai, so you also could.
I guess he's worried about losing the war. Sorry.
Yeah. If you lose the war, then cooing out Nasser did nothing for you. Okay, so he does go to Thailand. He's going to give that coup option. Okay, and here's IP war. So now Pakistan attackable with the war.
Yeah, and purge.
Yeah, this is pretty much everything you wanted to see here. You got rid of decall, and your reward is you get purge and destall. So now,
yeah, and controlling Middle East. This is, but high likelihood opponent has Asia, and might just get away with the scoring here.
So I think this is a clear defectors. We're going to need the ops of purge, and what we really don't want to see is a Vietnam headline. And then an even bigger coup of Thailand. So I think this is just the defectors.
And I guess
you're
against the Asia scoring too. Yeah. And then hope we get IP war off before he fills India. But the question is if we're gonna get that. Suez
is that's harmless.
Yeah. You're almost glad to see that defected.
Yeah. And NATO, just a 2.
Just a 2. But now we have to fill that, right? No, we don't have to
fill it back up. Don't we? If we want to stop the Dom, we got to go to Thailand, one into Malaysia or Indonesia if you want to stop the Dom. Or we could just say, you know what, we're dominated in Asia and let's take our coup.
It's not going to be hard for Michael to take that Dom if he has it. But I guess if you you're telling your opponent that you don't have their scoring yourself if you don't contest a Dom. Okay, you could just roll a 6 right there too.
Okay, wow. So that is huge pressure there on. Now certainly Justin's going to get a Dom in the Middle East, and Michael's got to scramble to take presence. And again, this should be 2 Iraq, 1 Lao, or 1 Syria, 1 Lao, and 1 India. But now, sorry, I'm talking over myself. But now Pakistan. Is going to be attackable no matter what. Now, though, it's completely naked as opposed to a 5 or a 6.
Yeah. Either way, I think IP War is going to be the next play from Justin here. Assuming Michael takes presence, but I can't see him not doing it. Giving up Marshall, too. Okay. Okay.
Sense.
Well.
Now, you can't do IP War now, though, because if you do IP War, win or lose, you're losing Thailand.
That's true. I don't see Michael taking Afghanistan, though. So I think maybe we have time here. So we take Thailand.
Yeah, you're going to have to put 3 in there.
Yeah,
right?
Otherwise it just gets flipped.
And then take a Middle East Dom,
Yeah, we don't have enough to cancel the domination. So now we'll see the
Justin
scoring.
Definitely going to get a Dom. If Michael has the scoring, now's the time.
Yeah, I can't see anything else that you'd want to do. We didn't mention that Justin got destall, but this is long term. This is looking really good, obviously.
That's true. We have not seen blockade yet. So keep that in mind. We'll see if Michael can get destall back in the deck. Decall already seen turn 1 spaced.
Yeah.
I always hate giving Marshall in the early war as the USSR, but in this particular case, I think we needed that 4 ops so badly.
Yeah. Oh,
and there it is. I'm surprised it took that long.
Yeah.
That would have been an instant dump for me, especially with the war around.
Yeah. Maybe he was no, I don't know what he would be considering there.
So this to me is now that Asia is scored, I think we just score Middle East here for our 3.
Okay, I'm not sure about that. I think I would still roll on the war before Afghanistan gets filled, if it gets filled, but
Absolutely
the
would
long-term
roll on
play
the
there.
war there.
Or you try to hold it. No, you don't try to hold that over D-stall. I was thinking try to play it in turn 3, but
Yeah. Nasser's gone. We're gonna be able to get Libya, and that's only a one VP difference. If we score
yeah,
there, it's 3.
yeah,
You score there so that Saudi doesn't stop Dom. Then you trigger the war. Then you presumably space and finish with Truman.
yeah. I mean, now Asia's going to look like this for the rest of the game. I guess we got one more VP out of that, but I'd rather roll on that war for a
Yeah,
1 in 3 chance.
I completely agree with you,
Yeah.
Anton.
Meanwhile, we're off to the races in space here. See if we see that
Yeah,
rare headline peak in turn 3.
So Michael, well ahead in the space race. He's ahead in Asia, but behind in the Middle East, behind in Europe, and denied access to the mid-war regions.
Yeah. Michael got 4 ops, and Justin got the 1 so far. And there's Afghanistan. So now the war's not going to... Now you don't play the war.
Yes, unless you are Matt Dominski, you are not going to play the war there. Obviously, the war still could be played for mill ops.
Yeah.
Well, and there it is. And
there it is, yeah.
here's a situation where the war is going to be triggered.
Yeah.
Just as we say that. So this seems like a duck headline, right?
Yeah. Just to
I
protect
see a reason to
Panama,
do
and you've got the
anything else.
D-stall. It might hurt against a decall headline, but
Decall headline's going to hurt regardless.
yeah. Now, I didn't have time to set up, and I don't want to do it when I cast the games myself, the card tracking here, but the opponent has Purge, but also has Blockade, which we don't have a card for anymore, and Korean War, so he's still going to get his mill ops there.
Yep. We're still going to get our mill ops, and I wonder what else he's got, because I wonder if 5-year plan could be an event here.
Maybe 5-year plan is an event later in the turn to have a bigger chance of catching Blockade with it.
Yep. That was my thinking as well. So
and another 4-op. That's wow.
Okay, so 2 4-op redraws for Michael.
Yeah.
But still no access. I think I would have triggered decall there before jamming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you had it, yeah. Because the only thing Justin has to do here, he can't fight Iran, so you go into Angola and Algeria, right?
Yep.
With your Comic-Con.
Yep, I think that's fine. And you wait as long as you can, and you hope that Michael decides not to trigger Blockade until late.
Yeah.
Usually when I have Purge, I like to trigger Blockade as soon as humanly possible to give myself the most time to fill it.
Yeah. I mean, the jam there makes sense too. If you have this makes sense. So what can Justin do here to push that Blockade as late as possible? I guess a space. No, a space doesn't do anything.
Yeah, and you probably are gonna UN destall anyway, right? I mean, maybe.
I like
UN destall.
No,
get
I
it
like
out of your hand.
No, I like.
Okay, so you play UN.
UN.
You play UN for ops.
No. I hold UN to next turn.
Okay, you space destall.
Yeah.
Okay, and then yeah, there's not much to be done. We need to make the walk up to. We need to get Zaire. We've got, assuming 5-year plan is an event, IP war is an event. We have 3 playable ops. Am I counting that correctly? I count 3.
Yeah. All right, Vietnam was another card, and it's starting to feel like he has Middle East, right?
Certainly is. And now I would take Vietnam. Vietnam, if I were the U.S., that seems like it might be an important country. So you're down 7 countries to 3, but if you can get Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines, you've stopped Dom.
Yeah. Zaire feels important too, of course, but
yes,
at some point you need to go in there. But And
And
there
there
it
it is. Okay.
is.
I think you've got to put 1 in there. Okay, he's going to go 2, wanting the extra op.
Yeah. I mean, if Michael doesn't have Truman here, then he's not going to go in there. So
IP War and CIA are both redraws, so good job by Justin to hold on to his redraws for the Truman threat.
yeah, I guess it's really speculative here as well to play 5-year plan. Although it would be worth it if it took Korean War as well. The
Yes.
EU, I think, that was a known card as well. I think so.
If you play 5-year plan, then we only have 1 op the rest of the way,
Yeah. No, at
which
this
is
point,
probably
after
going to
blockade, I wouldn't
Cameroon.
do it. But
Yeah.
like I was thinking before, now he's going to get a dom there.
Well, now maybe you pull Middle East with it. Although, yeah, okay, you want to take West Germany back.
Yeah, that's true. It could take Middle East. It could take Korean War, which is another 2 VPs. Yeah.
Okay, but he goes with the conventional play.
Yeah. Ooh, it wins the
Okay,
war.
Korean War hits, so 4 VPs on that one. IP War needs a 6,
Yeah.
does not get anywhere close.
That is a good feels good for Michael to have the extras there in South Korea. It makes a later China card flip basically
But this
impossible.
is yeah, I
Sorry.
agree with you. And this is basically, I'm sorry, what I was going to say is this is one of those games where the USSR has a lot of ops and just
Yeah.
no access anywhere.
Yeah.
And what do you do when you're the USSR and you have lots of ops and no access?
Yeah.
You just mindlessly fill Middle East battlegrounds.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what Michael has been reduced to here.
Yeah.
Would have liked to see him get 1 into West Germany just for funsies.
I agree with that. But there's Middle East. Just nice to see. Brush War's nice to see.
Yeah, boy, Junta and Brush. Nice.
No brush
to
target.
See, yeah, boy.
I guess
Iran is a 6. Pakistan is a 6.
yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Really no brush target. And we presumably are going to Junta here, right? And coup Cuba.
I think so, just to protect Africa.
Or would we CMC?
Maybe CMC is better and hold Junta. Gonna get our mill ops from Brush War. I'd like to hold Junta, see maybe if my opponent goes somewhere. Or use it myself to get into South America, but not to coup Cuba with, because that feels like a waste.
Yeah, we don't. If you're Justin, you just don't want a coup happening at all, which means how I learned a Cuban is the right play.
Yeah, I think Cuban is better because it protects Cameroon too. I don't think Michael would take out a Cuba on AR1.
I don't like this. I would much rather. I'd rather see a more aggressive headline, right?
Yeah.
We were going to get dominated in the Middle East, but that I don't think there was a rush to get rid of that.
When you have Junta and Brush War.
Yeah, you've got Junta and Brush, and Michael certainly wasn't cooing Libya or Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, he goes Panama on the 3-op coup, does not decide to break into Africa. So a break there. So even a 2 would have been enough to flip Angola or Zaire, and now we will fill up Panama and Nigeria.
Suggest Central America scoring. And now we do have a brush target and a Junta target too, for that matter. And a much better Junta, going into Chile here with Junta and then realigning Mexico if the brush war fails. But and then all of a sudden, we're looking at like a 4 VP Alliance for Progress.
Could be. Now, if Michael has central scoring, you've got to think he's going to take Guatemala here, Guatemala and Nicaragua, or Guatemala, Haiti here. And then what do? Do you brush Mexico anyway at 50-50? Do you coup with the risk that he has the scoring and then try and set up? What would you do? Would you brush anyway right away?
I think I go in. I think I Junta into Chile and coup Guatemala with it. Okay.
Wow. China. That wow.
Okay,
Okay,
so
that's
now
an
that
aggressive
doesn't
use
work
of
anymore.
China.
I think now
So
I.
you could still go Chile and Guatemala, but it doesn't stop Dom.
Yeah, no. So now I think I brush for Mexico.
Yeah. So that is a
Me-
strong indication that he has central. But we said the same damn thing about Middle East last year, and it could be a strong indication that he simply has no access to put
yeah,
ops
he
anywhere
still has
else.
nowhere to put it. And putting one more in Israel isn't going to do anything here. So, uh, yeah, I think I brush for Mexico here.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
think I agree with you. We brush Mexico to try and stop this Dom. The other thing, I mentioned it before, but Vietnam, an important country. Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines would be enough to stop Dom. Vietnam revolts is in the discard.
Yeah,
So that's going to be an important country to take. And it's one of the very few countries that both players have access to at the moment.
I think Central is a higher priority right now.
Completely agree.
But
I,
yeah,
I would brush right here.
yeah,
Um, if whether we hit or miss on the brush, I think Central's getting scored right after that if Michael has it.
yeah,
I mean, he just used China to take 3 non-battlegrounds in Central.
yeah,
If we're going to do this, I would just junta.
yeah. That is better. Yeah, unless you're planning on holding Junta to lower DEFCON next AR or next turn, uh,
Okay, yeah.
which is
But boy,
reasonable, I think. But
it's reasonable, but I'd rather spread out in South America here.
yeah, there it goes.
Okay. He does have Central, so he gives up the 5. Could have been 0 if we. And again, it's not like other brush targets are going to materialize.
Yeah,
And he goes for the realigns.
yeah. And
Swing and a
Venezuela
miss.
there is a mistake too. Opponent clearly does not have South America, so going into Chile and then waiting for Panama, I think is the more
I like
sensible
that.
play.
Yes,
Yeah,
I like that better. Opponent also clearly doesn't have ABM, so I'm not worried about that. Maybe definitely worth the 1 and 2 brush war.
yeah,
Um, okay, who's Guatemala back? Yeah, stop the real lines, but again, just not much else to do. This will be 2 Brazil, 1 Vietnam for me. I know
yeah.
I keep harping on it, but
I think it's
I'm
one of
going
those
to
blind
continue.
spots.
Yeah.
There's who is it that keeps talking about the D-stall blind spot where you have you always take out of Europe with D-stall even if you have like 5 in Zaire. And
Yep.
this is like a Vietnam blind spot. You're like, okay, Vietnam's. I mean, it will come back, but yeah, we should take it here absolutely. Uh,
It's a VP for Southeast Asia. It could be 4 VPs for regular old Asia. Okay. And so Michael with a 10 VP lead here.
yeah,
But behind in the mid-war, behind in South America, way behind in Africa, way behind in Europe, none of which are scored. But you can envision a path here.
yeah,
6 in Asia. Okay,
yeah,
6 in Asia plus space puts you on the doorstep.
yeah, and OPEC of
I
course
would, yeah.
too. Yeah.
And yep, OPEC, of course, as well. I would absolutely trigger alliance here to give
Oh yeah,
myself a
yeah,
little bit of breathing room. I want those 3 VPs and I want them now.
yeah.
And then I
And I
think how I learned probably takes South Africa, maybe takes a couple Southeast Asian countries. We'll see.
yeah. I guess yeah, there's a you can either hold How I Learned to protect Africa in the headline, or you hold Brush and then brush whatever Michael Coos
Yeah,
in
I like
Africa.
that.
And we get
Okay,
Africa.
yeah,
This is very nice. Opponent has
okay.
headline peak. I would do some quick maths, but probably kitchen debates here.
Yeah, that
Does that
makes
make
sense.
sense?
I don't think you want to show the scoring in the headline because even just a Che headline makes Africa only 4 when we could have a shot at control.
Yeah. If opponent has
Um,
Che, he'll probably. That would be my headline. I can't
Che's a
really
great
think.
headline even without headline peak.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Uh,
Kitchen, let's see. We're down 2 in Asia. We're down another 1 in the Middle East. But we're up 4 in Africa. We're up 1 in Europe. We're up 2 in Central. So yeah,
yeah,
Kitchen seems to be comfortably in hand, even if Israel is taken. Um, OAS makes sense. Gets you into Chile. Okay, cultural is not something we're probably worried about here. Okay. The one in Mexico does make sense. We are probably not contesting Mexico this right away. We have much bigger priorities right now, but maybe make Michael think about it a little bit.
Yeah. But certainly we're going to want to fill up these small one stabs in Southeast Asia now.
Yep.
Probably with shuttle and maybe no, just shuttle. Shuttle's really our only playable ops here if we're gonna until
Yeah.
Brezhnev. But this has to be brushed for right
Yeah.
away, right?
I guess you're brushing, but boy, if you miss, then you get Zaire flipped on you. You are in serious trouble. If you
Right.
JR this roll,
Yeah. Okay.
but if you this is what I was thinking initially, but now you don't have the option to fill up Southeast Asia. I guess you could give you could do Brezhnev AR6 and take 3 countries with that. What I don't know. What do you think of that play, Anton?
No, I don't know. I think I would roll on it 2/3. But yeah, because now this is happening. You see that coming for sure. And now he's gonna want to realign. And essentially it's the same thing now, right? So
yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's clearly our brush target. I think you roll on it. Does he roll a 3? Gets the 4.
Yep. All right. So that's going to be 10 very comfortable VPs. And yeah, I guess you're right. Given early Brezhnev for 3 VPs, I don't.
3 VPs for 1 op is a great trade.
Yeah.
I believe Decall is still around. It was Space Turn 1. We haven't seen it yet. Certainly, if Michael has it, we're going to see it right now.
And then we can't do anything about it. So, okay. Score it.
Ironic that his clearly you're going to score there. Ironic the coup roll in Angola was just good enough.
Yeah.
To where that wasn't a problem.
Exactly. If he'd rolled a little bit lower, Angola's sitting at 1 instead, and then Portuguese comes out. So
I think I would have spaced OPEC first.
Yeah, maybe he's scared
South
of
African, a little more playable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, we can hold on to OPEC. Maybe he's got.
Oh,
okay,
and
there's Europe.
This is one of those turns where just everything just turns around in a huge way. How many VPs is that? Like,
yeah. We were just talking about Asia. It was 10 VPs, and now it's swung to 9 blue and about to be more.
Yeah.
This is kitchen. Nope. Oh, I don't like that at all. I would much rather have triggered kitchen there. Yeah. Give away the 1 op with Brezhnev.
Yeah.
It does let him space Grain or Voice, but that's 3 VPs.
All right. Grain and Voice is big here. Or maybe he's Colonials is around too, right? That could help us in Southeast Asia.
That is true. If opponent has to give Colonials, I will look really stupid for about Vietnam. Talking about Vietnam for 3 turns.
But there's no rush with that. Like, your opponent's not gonna. I mean, an opponent might go into Vietnam, I guess, but yeah, I guess Michael should really take Vietnam here for just 1, because that puts him at 8 countries total.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Both players should take Vietnam. Okay, it's just completely ignoring it.
Yeah.
Brezhnev is not going to take Vietnam now. It's going to fill up Argentina, presumably.
Yeah. Which is fair. Like, that's still going to win us the game here if we get it. But yeah, I think it's just a blind spot here for Justin. What's going on in Southeast Asia? Like, if you just take those countries, it's not just the Southeast Asian points; it's Asia Dom too.
Yep, and there's Asia. Although we get Kennedy, and we get a pretty darn great Kennedy hand. Wow.
Yeah.
What a Kennedy hand.
Is it? No, not Missile Envy, but getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards with Kennedy. That feels good.
Yeah.
I think it's the Kennedy headline too, right?
Yeah. So Missile Envy can't pull Duck. So you headline missile. If you can headline Missile Envy, that makes sense. And then you have we? I don't think we've seen. Have we seen Muslims? We haven't seen Muslims.
And
We
not
will
flower
bury
power
you is in
either.
our hand. I don't think we've seen Flower Power either. So there's a chance, and of course not ABM.
ABM. Yeah.
There's a chance that, and obviously Marshall and U.S. Japan are gone. I'm not remembering the status of NATO off the top of my head. But there's a chance, there's a very good chance we could get a big card with Missile Envy.
Yeah.
So maybe you do go Missile Envy, and then it's an AR1 Kennedy. But
Yeah.
all these cards are almost unplayable. It's so perfect for Kennedy.
If only instead of Summit, this was Gunman or something, it would just be.
Yeah.
So now South America is going to come before anything else. And how is Michael going to deal with this? And like you said, colonials, VOA, and grain, all unspaceable, all unaccounted for.
Yep.
So either we're going to get them here when we discard 7 cards, or Michael has them.
Yep. And Michael and Justin certainly hoping. So obviously not just the benefit of discarding these bad cards, but gives him a much greater chance of picking up South America before the reshuffle, maybe even ending this game, depending on what is given to Missile Envy here and what kind of coup roll we see. Obviously, one disadvantage of Missile Envy is that opponent sees it, but there's a good chance that he can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
What scary headlines other than ABM are available to Michael, Anton, that are on the top of off the top of your head? Allende, but what else?
You could Salt, which isn't scary, but Muslim Rev could do some damage with Libya and Egypt, but then you still have to survive South America somehow. Missile Envy could pull NATO. NATO was played turn 2, and we haven't seen it again. Okay, there is Salt.
Okay, Salt for NTB and just hand over 3 VPs. And now you're going to take a one-op coup in Venezuela? That's desperation. Okay, yeah. I would ignore all of this and Kennedy.
Yeah. I don't like giving 3 VPs like that.
Yeah.
Unless you, I mean, yeah, no. I mean,
unless you are going to have to give a 4-op coup to it. But even then, like, you just salted.
Yeah, now you gave a 2-op coup. And you did your own 2-op coup, which is useless, or 1-op coup.
Yeah, you had to have a 6 just to get 1 in there. This is a clear Kennedy now dump this entire hand, right? There's no reason to do anything other than no. Don't do any of this. Just
no,
Kennedy.
You don't. Yeah.
Don't give away any VPs.
Let him coup and then coup back. Like.
Yep. And yes, we don't have South America control, but if our opponent scores South America right now, we just win. I don't like this. I don't like this. There's no reason to give away these VPs. And if we Kennedy and we pick up Gunman, so what? We'll just give Gunman in the next AR.
Yeah.
Assuming we don't draw South America. This is just Kennedy. I'm not sure what Justin's thinking about.
I mean, literally, every other card is unplayable except for Summit. I guess you could Summit for Summit event, but it's even.
Yeah, it's even. You
have a really good board, but Summit event is somehow even.
No urgency to really do anything. I mean, yeah, Thailand could get cooed, I guess, but it's under Salt, and we already scored Southeast Asia.
No. I mean, I guess he just really wants to protect South America here, but I feel like opponent probably has ABM, right?
Yeah, I would let him. I'd just let them coup, and then we coup back. I don't want to just give up 3 VPs. The difference between control and domination is 3 VPs are, well, 5 with presence anyway. I'm sorry, Anton, continue.
Yeah. No. I was just trying to. I guess he's thinking like it doesn't matter if it's 12 or 15. If you maintain the control in South America, it doesn't matter. But no, I don't like that. We will bury you. I'd rather coup back with whatever I get from Ask Not. Okay, this is desperation.
that suggests maybe he is preparing for ABM. But okay, let's Let's Kennedy now.
Yeah.
Yes, guaranteed ABM, but let's get a new hand of cards to fight against that ABM.
But then even if he successfully coups Venezuela with ABM, we still get that Dom in South America, right? And
Yeah, we'll still get Dom for sure.
maybe he's keeping track and the deck is really red and he knows that he's going to get a bunch of red cards coming back. Oh,
I don't understand why he didn't get rid of De Gaulle on C5.
yeah.
That doesn't. That makes no sense to me. Give yourself 2 extra chances to draw central. Or excuse me, to draw south.
And we have ABM. So what was with the lads there?
How I learned to send DEF CON up, it's already been seen, so that's not
It's already been
anything.
seen. Yeah.
This is a Uruguay coup? Okay. This is a man who has South America and is desperate.
Yeah.
What he should have done is salted for 5-year plan. Right? And takes 50-50.
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, that wouldn't have worked because of this bear trap we have. Although
Yeah.
Justin might not see that play.
Yeah.
Um,
Huh. No, this is mysterious.
so Michael can survive by spacing, hitting, and then getting presence in south. If he can hit a space roll,
Yeah.
get to 9, get presence in south, and then yeah, Justin does have gunman, but he's got ABM and bear trap to help him get out of it. Okay,
Yeah.
0 op coup. Oh, he finally hits the roll.
One op because of lads.
Oh, that's
It's
true.
both
Yes.
salt and lads. Not often you see a coup in South America with both of those, but
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, well, I think now you. Okay, well, this is fine. You're gonna see Venezuela get jammed here, presumably.
China card.
Yeah, and then I think we're playing ABM or we're playing bear trap for ops to stop that.
I might not even. I might play bear trap for the event. Because that's still gonna stop him. So then AR6 he has to discard into bear trap, right?
Yeah,
And then AR7 he has to score. I guess it doesn't make a difference. I think we're gonna win on this AR right here.
the only way your plan doesn't work is if Michael has the scoring and no other discardable cards. Then he could score in response to the bear trap.
Yeah. I guess that would be a little bit too fancy.
So yeah, now we're playing ABM for ops and just filling it back up.
And that should be it.
Michael knows we don't have the scoring.
Yeah.
We would have the game would already be over if we had the scoring.
Yeah.
So it's just this. Vietnam. Nope.
Right. I think, Justin, I'm gonna have to make you real disappointed and say we're not gonna see Vietnam filled in this game.
No, I don't think we are. I don't think we are.
Before that. All right.
I think it's gonna end right now.
So Justin takes the 1-0 lead. Some strange plays in this game from both players, I would say. They know what they're doing, but I feel like, what do you think? Is there like some sort of playoff nerves pressure here? Like, these are two good players, and I feel like they both played a little bit off. Does that make sense? Is that too harsh to say?
No, they did play a little bit off, and it wasn't the case of players playing too quickly. Sometimes you see that, you know, you see a move and you quickly lock it in, and then 1 second later you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. These guys took their time and made some plays that I was scratching my head a little bit.
Yeah.
But Justin comes up with the win. He scores Africa control and South America control. He Kennedy's away. Michael's best scoring.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Um,
Like one turn ago, it was, what was it? +5 for the
yeah,
Soviets, +6, something like that.
more than that. I think
Turned around
Michael
quick.
was up, and I want to say, um,
Yeah. But an interesting start there. I like the way they played the turn one. Um,
yeah,
okay, so he's saying giving salt was probably okay though. Oh, he's saying he didn't have to take nuclear. No, he had to take the
yeah.
4 up. I don't know. Yeah, because
Well, he had
he had Muslim
Muslims. He
rep.
had
Yeah,
Muslims.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So he had to give it. But I don't know. Giving 3 VPs there is. All right, let's reset the brain. We're now the Soviets. This is always tough for me when I see different colors. So now Justin's going to be the Soviets, and we have a pretty nice hand here, I say.
yeah, definitely so. No access, but we've got some ops. We get CIA. Always nice to see turn one as the USSR, especially if they don't have access. Dump that pretty painlessly. And then yeah, this is probably a purge headline, I would think.
Hmm?
Maybe it's a C5 headline if
Yeah,
you're worried about ops.
I like C5.
Yeah,
I like C5 here, so you can do a 4 up coup on Iran, but
yeah, yeah. I do. Yeah, because if you miss on the Iran coup and you don't have access, you can find yourself dominated in Asia in the early war as the USSR, which is always humiliating.
and you know what they say,
Um,
even when C5 misses, it also hits because you don't
yeah,
have to worry about a specific. It's especially in the early war where like anything could really happen right here. Having the knowledge, to me anyway, it's worth a lot. Uh, but okay, Justin goes with purge. Now
he
do you coup
does
with De
go with the
Gaulle,
purge.
or do
Yeah,
you?
I think you have to. I like using as big a coup as I can get away with on Iran. I think it's so important. I know other players don't like the coup. They attack in other ways. They'll fill up Iraq, go Afghanistan, but
Yeah.
I like.
Oof.
And boy, 3 op coup would have been a big difference maker there.
Yeah. Yep. That's almost my favorite result is when Iran doesn't get filled. Uh, when it's empty after the coup, I mean, it creates an
Yeah,
interesting dynamic in Asia.
yeah. Then sometimes you'll see the weird Jordan play, and try and walk back into Iran. Yeah, it's always interesting. But okay, now Michael will have the opportunity to get out of Iran and into Pakistan, presumably. This would just be Iran to Pakistan for me, but I can understand why maybe he's worried about the war. Maybe he wants to get into Malaysia. It could go Iran, Afghanistan, Malaysia as well. Oh, it's purged. Sorry.
I forgot about it too.
I know I've played Twilight Struggle though. I do not like that play though.
Yeah.
I really would have preferred to get out of Iran rather than
Yeah.
get into Malaysia.
Now you coup again, right?
I'd coup again.
Yeah. Getting him out of
Or
there
not
is.
getting Thailand with this hand no matter what.
Yeah.
Um, I'd coup again.
So the only
I can
problem then
also, yeah.
is
Sorry, go
if
ahead.
sorry, the only problem then is if opponent coups back with Fidel. Then you're sitting there with 5-year plan and CIA.
Yeah, that is annoying.
Uh, I guess I mean spacing 5-year plan isn't that bad, but then you're also telling your opponent that you have CIA.
Yeah, that's true. I want to deal with that.
What about giving up CIA
I
right here?
You think
Nah,
about giving up CIA?
okay.
That it's important, but it feels like it also could have waited. We need to get access to Pakistan, India. Oh, and there's an Asia dump.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. I don't think I would have gone into Malaysia. um, with Asia in my hand because I would be worried about a coup there.
Yeah.
Um, okay, he dumps Asia, and now this is less bad, and he hits this time.
Now let's see if there's a Fidel. That could
Oh boy, that would be so risky, though. You need because then you miss on that coup, and Suez or AI really ruins your day. Nope. Okay, they're going to try it, miss, and now we presumably will get Lebanon, unless we want to give CIA here.
no, now there's no hurry. That was a 2-op coup with
Yeah,
NORAD. Like there's
yeah.
you just give it on the AR6 here.
Pakistan feels like it could wait. What about a one Lebanon and a poke of West Germany here with De Gaulle?
That's an interesting play. I think we're waiting to maybe get more uh, value out of De Gaulle by opponent playing into France first. Okay, he was holding Suez, so wasn't
Yeah,
scared of that. But
yeah. A poke of West Germany would have made that awkward.
yeah, yeah,
This might also be a situation where we're going to 5-year plan CIA. There are no bad scorings to be had. Opponent needs to spend 5 ops to get Europe dom, and we could get Middle East dom by the end of this turn. I don't think there's going to be a scoring we're excited about getting rid of. Still
yeah,
like this West Germany poke, but I understand this.
yeah. Although instead of Pakistan, that should be India.
Yes.
It's already been scored. We should be creeping towards Thailand the way that Michael did last game.
Yes. Completely agree with you. We're not worried about the war, of course, now, but we do want to reach toward
Yeah.
Laos, I should say, and down into Thailand.
Is it Laos? Why
Yes,
does everyone say
I am
Lao?
told. Yeah, I am told that the people and the language are Lao, but the country is pronounced Laos in
Okay.
English.
Okay. In
That is
Swedish,
what
it's
I'm told.
Laos, but I thought it was Lao. But maybe
Everybody says Lao, and so I started doing
everyone in
it.
the Twilight Struggle community says Lao. Maybe
Yeah,
it's one of those things where one person started it and then yeah,
yeah.
giving up 5-year plan with CA.
I like this play.
Yeah, I like it too. Makes the but, so what do you do with the ops though? Do you go
West Germany poke one India seems fine to me.
over South Korea
Mm,
with
yeah, I guess South Korea is good too. Okay. One India less important now, I get with Thailand fully taken. Yeah, we could go one West. We could that. Meh.
it kind of makes sense. If opponent goes into Libya here. Excuse me. Fill up unscored battlegrounds, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Take open battlegrounds is good,
And there's
but
a
yeah.
nice hand.
Well, we'd have France now. If we had done the West Germany poke, but I suppose a Nasser headline here
Yeah.
is a presenceless Middle East. Nasser headline, and then we could take a big coup on Libya or Panama if we want to. Still no access.
Oh wow.
Okay, now a
Now
four
just
op.
take both of
Wow.
them, yeah.
Oh, that's yeah, yeah. That's
That's
really painful.
that's juicy, yeah.
So we saw Purge, and we saw U.S. Japan last turn, NTB and NATO here. So Marshall, the only remaining 4 with which to take Israel. But yeah, this is going to be a big time fight just to get presence.
Huh. Taking Israel here is scary as the US too. Like spending those 4 ops and then there's an AI war redraw.
Yeah.
But I think you have to. If you have a 4-op here, you have to do that.
Yes. If you have, yeah, and Marshall's the only one.
Huh.
Otherwise, you're gonna just put one in Israel and hope he doesn't have the scoring, and give yourself access to Jordan.
You got to consider that. Would you consider that when you're playing duck and cover there? Like knowing that Nasser is
Yeah.
a really likely headline, and knowing that this would be the result. Maybe, I mean, obviously we don't know what other cards he has, but I wonder if that's a case of duck and cover just.
Yes, could be. Now counterpoint to that is presence in the Middle East is 3 VPs, and duck and cover is 3 VPs. So they're both the same 3 VPs. And it looks like, okay, so he doesn't have the scoring. We'll be able to get. So sorry. Now Michael realizes that Justin doesn't have the scoring, so he'll be able to take Jordan here. The question is Michael going to try and fill up France and UK and get a Europe dom out of this?
Still 4 more. Okay, there's Fidel.
Yep.
Must be a weak hand on Michael's side again.
Yep, CIA is gone, so Fidel not a factor in that regard.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah, your opponent's shown that they have a shit hand, so.
So we need to take South Korea. We need to trigger the war. To try and fight off a Europe dom here.
Yeah, opponent needs to spend 5 ops in Europe, 2 in Middle East.
Yep.
And then would ideally like to spread out of Thailand here as well, because Decall and Vietnam are coming on turn 3.
I might have triggered Korean War there. Opponent is not, even if we lose the war, opponent's not fighting for South Korea.
Yeah.
Okay, opponent's going to just score Europe for the 1. Okay, that's a win for us. Now you trigger the war.
Yeah. Man, he spent a lot of ops there for just one VP.
Yeah. good long term, but DeGaule's still in the deck.
Suck ups we haven't even seen. Oh no. Mill ops is 2 VPs.
2 VPs, maybe 4. Yeah, which worked last game. Yeah. I don't understand. This has to be an event. This has to be an event.
Oh.
I don't like that. If you're going to spend ops, I would have put ops in Israel and Jordan and make presence more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In the Middle East.
Oh wow. Michael really has a crap hand. Look at all those. Like
yeah.
East European Unrest was his only card, and he had to spend it in West Germany, which I think is why he should have just scored.
Yeah.
He should have just scored Europe at 0.
100%. Well, that needed to be an even Europe scoring, and then you can spend that in Middle East. But now, I think I would put at least I'd go Laos here. That's fine. Safest play is just India, Burma, Laos for IP war purposes. Yeah. But I would put at least one in Jordan.
Yeah, just to make it awkward.
To make it a 3-op play to get presence instead of a 2-op play.
But opponent might be holding D-stall. One card might be D-stall for blockade, and the other card might be something like Sockubs, and then no, it's not going to be Sockubs.
Yep.
I don't know. What's around? Obviously, we haven't seen Marshall yet, but
now we did just give containment, so that's Marshall's around. But
that's true. We did give containment.
We certainly would have seen. And there's blockade. Yeah, see, that's huge.
Yeah,
if you put one in, and we get Middle East.
Yeah.
Again, it's only a 3 VP difference.
Yeah. It's still going to be a big score.
And defectors.
Wow.
Also get D-stall. Is D-stall important? Is that an important card?
I don't know if we're going to make it that far in this game. Right now, it feels like no. Yeah, of course it's. But But yeah, one in Jordan there makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at the cards that we got here, Marshall, D-Stall, Middle East defectors, like
Middle East would have been 10.
yeah, and a
It's
safe
7 as it is.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I still think you just headline it here, right?
Yeah, because I want to spread out after D-Stall.
Okay.
Okay. That's
Because I like scoring
fine.
Middle East and then taking out of Egypt with D-Stall. That always makes me. It feels good.
Yeah.
For the soul to do that, you know.
Yeah, I agree. This makes sense because you get the clean D-Stall into Angola. Middle East is going to be a big number regardless. I think Nigeria is probably fine here. You take a coup. You're probably taking a one-up coup.
No,
And
I
then
like Marshall coup of UN Marshall coup of Panama.
you do? But man, we have so few ops to spread in South America. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. D, we just need a one-up coup.
I think
So
otherwise the
now-
opponent goes into Colombia and starts messing with Venezuela and Brazil there.
That's true.
I think just getting one out of him there. I mean, obviously, if you're going to roll like that, it's fine. We can just roll with a one-up coup, but
Yeah, you turn it from a 50-50 to an
yeah.
anything but a 1.
Yeah, it's more of a one more VP as well.
Okay, but now I'm going to do the Michael Stryker thing that he always loves to do when we are in play team games, and I'm going to count our ops.
Yeah.
We have to score Middle East.
Yeah.
And then we have 6 ops.
Yeah.
1 must go into Zaire, so that's 5. That's 5 ops that can go into South America. So presumably 1 Venezuela, 2 Brazil, 2 Argentina.
Yeah.
And
we're fine. And I mean, look at the world.
Yeah. Just nice world. But again, Anton, stop me if you've heard this before. But Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines stops Dom for the USA.
Wow. That's an insane coincidence. We're going to see Vietnam here on AR6, but
yeah, but this is a situation where I would take Vietnam first and then either space Vietnam or use it as an empty AR.
Yeah.
You have no access to Afghanistan. Vietnam's an
right.
important country.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think about that sometimes. Why don't we just put 3 into Vietnam before playing Vietnam ourselves? Why do we always just give it up? Like you rarely see the US place into Vietnam before Vietnam comes in. But it's the same as flipping Laos with the 3-op, right? Laos.
Yeah. I mean, same. I've done it from time to time when I sense that Vietnam's going to be a really important country.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of those times. As Europe, okay, a nice redraw for Michael. So he fills up Israel to save 1 VP. That's 3. That's 3 ops for 1 VP. I would have much rather put those 3 ops into South. Sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah. No. I was being dumb thinking, what about rolling on the war there? But it's a 6 only, so.
Yeah, 6 only. I would have much rather seen those 3 go into Southeast Asia or Algeria or Mexico.
Yeah, we need to take Algeria here. And South Africa would be nice too. Okay, he's filling up Southeast Asia. He heard you.
He heard me, but he's going to give away Vietnam, which is a big problem. If he gives away Vietnam, that's 7 countries, and he's only got 6. He could fill Taiwan, but
maybe he's planning on spacing it and then going on taking it AR1 on turn 4.
Yep.
Sorry about all my coughing. Let's see about
that's all right.
Cutting that
out. Viewers don't mind.
Smartly saving test ban here for any eventualities at the end. AB opponent poke of North Korea doesn't look terrible with the 4-op here. Oh, but he has to space that.
Yeah, and
Yeah, Justin sees the importance of Thailand here, or he saw it. Yeah, I like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
Vietnam in hand,
yeah,
so it
yeah,
could get spaced or it could get held. Yeah, and I don't like. Yeah, it's painful to do that because now you're going to say, "Oh, well, I had Vietnam and I was going to give it."
yeah.
Um,
There's got to be a term for
but
that, not like opportunity cost, but something along those lines. Like this,
yeah.
you're
Also, I really don't like the 5 in the top half of South America, but just 1 in the bottom half. VOA is unspeakably devastating here, taking 1 Chile and 3 out of Africa. Whereas if you put 3 in each side, yeah, you're eliminated from one side, but not the other. He can't take you out of both sides and can't take you out of all of Africa. I do not like.
So
I
you're
do not
saying he
like
should have
that.
put 3 in Venezuela and 3 in Chile?
Yeah, or even just yeah, that's fine. Or if we're worried about a junta or OAS taking Algeria, just you could go 2-1, 2-1, and have 3 in each side.
Okay.
VOA can
Yeah,
take
I
you out
see
of
what you're
one,
saying.
but not the other,
Yeah.
and then but not also out of Africa.
Then I think I'd rather put 3 in Venezuela and 3 in Chile.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess
I
that
think
hurts to
that's
brush war, but uh,
it's painful for brush war. It's painful for an ABM coup, a brush of Venezuela or an ABM coup of Brazil.
yeah.
Um, okay, big old 4-op. So he is going to play a 4-op, and he's going to hold Vietnam, which is interesting. I mean, did we get that wrong? I think he's got.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
we
must have
think
been
he's
good.
got Vietnam, we haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, so so we get voice. So what I just said doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We also get CRG, um, a little bit of an annoying Camp David. We get 5-year plan Asia, but obviously we're going to want to score Asia.
Yeah.
Nothing good to give to Missile Envy here.
Okay, so not a big deal, I think.
No, shouldn't be a big deal. I think it's is this just a Camp David coup of Mexico? Try and get arms race off?
Yeah, I think maybe I'd we'll go with you two, I think. I don't know where I'm going to spend all of my ops. More ops here. We're going to have to give up CRG or play China card.
CRG, VOA obviously completely unplayable. CRG is really bad too.
But I think, what are we holding 5-year plan for? Really?
Yeah, I think we're playing China and holding both 5-year plan and CRG.
What about 5-year planning CRG on AR7 and just
Yeah,
repairing?
could do that too. I think do you just score Asia now?
Yeah.
I think
Before he has time to take Taiwan, or Taiwan evens it, right?
Or Laos flip.
Or Laos flip.
Taiwan does even it, but we take Afghanistan, no big deal. The Laos flip is what I'm worried about.
And then we're going to get arms race off as well, unless opponent has ABM here. Then he probably would have played ABM before Alliance.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. And are we brushing Algeria or Italy?
Oh boy.
Or Thailand.
Italy if Europe's not scored. Yeah, maybe it is Thailand. Equal odds like that, I think I like Thailand.
Or Mexico. I didn't even.
Mexico's doable, but it's reliable. I think
First things
think
first,
Algeria's fine.
Arms race off, I think.
Yeah, this is just arms race, and then we got some problems, and we just got to buckle up. We do need to worry about overprotecting Angola because right now Africa, as it always seems to be, is on a knife's edge. A 4-op into Angola flips that critical third battleground.
Yeah, I think it's arms race, and then you start overprotecting Africa with Camp David, space VOA. Wait with brush war, I think. See if he scores something, and then 5-year plan colonials. Okay, there goes.
Oh boy, Africa. I can't believe he spaced Willie before scoring that. I would absolutely have scored Africa. Honestly, I would have scored in the headline. But Okay.
There's the case to be made for mill-ops here as well. If you take Africa Dom, you give opponent mill-ops 2, which is 2 VPs, and the Dom is 3.
Yep. Yep. That's true.
Now I guess Michael again doesn't really have anywhere to play his ops.
That could have flipped Angola. Um,
That's true. And then see it be brush ward.
yeah. And then, but then that's great. He's using brush there instead of
Yeah, that's
somewhere
true.
else.
That's
But
true.
also, if we get away with the flip, we can go into non-battlegrounds and either score, and then it flips that equation on its head.
Yeah.
Opponent coups us to stop the Dom, we get our mill ops. Doesn't coup, and we get our Dom.
Yeah. Now I don't feel bad giving colonials. As
Yeah,
much.
it still really sucks, but with Africa scored, it's not as bad.
Africa scored, Asia scored.
Okay, well, there's the mill ops we were talking about.
Yeah.
I think I like Thailand.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Mexico looks good too when it looks like that.
yeah, yeah, and that is a big threat. Central control threatening 10. Interesting. We did not find the ops to fill up. Yeah, and see, this is what I was kind of worried about, is just getting realigned out immediately, but they miss on the roll. And now the question is, do you play China? Because if you play China, you can fill up Argentina and take Mexico back. If you 5-year plan CRGs, you've got to use those 3 ops to defend against it.
Yeah, I still think I like this.
Yeah.
You can save 2 African countries, take Mexico, and then hope he takes the other African country, and that's your coup target, because you need a coup target next turn anyway.
That's true. This, I think, would be those, and then Laos. I don't understand Burma. I liked Burma before IP War, but now IP War is gone. So I would like Laos better. Access to India, not that important. But again, Vietnam, the key country there in Asia Dom.
Yeah.
If realigns do hit, will we see Libs or Junta to get back in? We will not, but we do see South.
Yep. And death squads too, which is a decent headline here.
Yeah, but you don't want to headline Quagmire because you got NORAD in your hand. But boy, Quagmire, just fill up South America and take your 10 is nice. Missile envy, obviously a problem, though. Missile envy, a huge problem.
Yeah.
Got to be worried about missile envy. And Quagmire immediately jumped out at me because I really want to get South America scoring off. If we get ABM'd, at least it guarantees we get a Dom off.
Yeah, Lads really only protects against Bear Trap, right?
Yeah.
Because ABM Junta will happen before Nixon.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Huh.
Now I think I could take a coup. No, I'm not giving a coup. Even at -1, I don't think I want to give a coup in South America, do I?
Well, he did headline Nixon instead of ABM.
Yeah. But I don't like giving a coup. I'd rather take the coup for myself.
He might be worried about puppets and OAS and Junta going into Argentina there, but
I think I would have headlined any of those. Well, I guess I wouldn't have headlined puppets. Puppets doesn't do much. But OAS could go one Argentina.
Yeah.
OAS could have gone one Argentina, one Brazil.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas Nixon does nothing. But yes, okay. Perhaps Michael was hoping.
Yeah, okay. We're seeing another desperation play here. It's going to be the same thing as last time, where he's just going to spend all of his firepower in South America and then end up losing the control anyway.
Jordan doesn't matter. Yeah, I like that better. This will be Argentina. Goodness, and a 1. So do you take
Oh,
Egypt here, or do you just score your 10? I think I just want to score my 10.
yeah, yeah. I don't care
Egypt
about
doesn't seem
Egypt.
like it's going to matter that much.
No. I mean, just score the 10, and then opponent can even take Mexico, and like all you need is OPEC or
Yeah.
yeah, just score it. Score it
Yeah.
before
Take
he
your 10
plays
VP.
OAS or ABM. Oh goodness. It's tough to see how Michael comes back in this one. CIA gone. Uh
Yeah. Purge down to the late war.
yeah, take that Dom. Where's the last one go? Yeah, say it's fine.
Take an Africa Dom and roll on Summit at +4.
That'd be a way to lose an ITSL playoff game.
Roll a 6-1 on the Summit at +4.
All right, so let's say you're Michael here. What's your plan? You can flip
So I think,
Laos, right?
yeah.
That's
So Michael's gonna,
two
yeah,
VPs.
to try and survive. You're just trying to survive here to the late war when the DEF CON cards come back.
Yeah.
So yeah, flip of Lao gives you extra VPs in Southeast Asia. You can just start cooing in Central to try and attack Cuba. But the other thing is the Milops situation. Milops could get you 2 VPs right now if you're the USA.
It's true.
So maybe you don't want to do that. Um,
And if you're Justin, you hold nuke subs, right? In case you get. Okay, he had ABM.
wow, he had it.
Wow.
Okay, clears out
And
Panama, but now we're just
under
going right back in.
lads, that's a big that's a big roll. What was that? That must have been a six
That was a
then, right?
oh, that's right. That
Panama
was
was
a
at 4.
4.
Yeah.
That's right. So no, that wasn't going to do anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Even a 6. I guess it was a 5. Must have been a
Yeah, it
must
must
have
have
been
been a
a
5. Yeah,
5.
yeah, yeah.
You needed a
So
6
you're
to get
looking
in.
for a 6. And you're cooing under lads here, trying to survive. I guess he has Central too. This is
Yeah.
deja vu.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if there's a need to hold nuke subs. And he's also given us Millops now. I don't know if there's a need to hold nuke subs because yes, Green is around, but Purge is gone, 5-year plan is gone, CIA is gone.
Ooh, I think, especially with the way he's playing, I think he's holding Central.
That's an
So giving
early
Asknot is,
Kennedy.
yeah. And if he's not holding Central, then okay, it's nice to see for him. But if you're not holding Central, which he wasn't, obviously, now you get to coup Haiti.
Yep.
And try to do those.
Then we're probably quagging on AR6 and then nuke subs coup on AR7 to get our Millops.
Yeah, I think the order doesn't matter there, but this is under lads.
I don't like that. Now you open yourself up to a jam. Plus,
Yeah.
I really want that extra VP. I want that extra VP for Millops. I would have held Panama there. I don't want it getting jammed.
He might be cooing with subs and then quagmiring on in headline as well.
Yeah. Now we got coup Costa Rica if we're going to do it, unless opponent coups Haiti.
Yeah. Which I think the consistent play would be to coup Haiti here, even though, oh no, trying to get some VPs. And now he gets to roll big instead. Trying to get some VPs in space. I think you.
Is We Will Bury You around? Like,
Yeah,
I
we
really
haven't seen
want this VP.
it.
And if
Central
my
or
opponent wants to
OPEC
take
is
a
fine too.
coup, yeah.
Yeah.
If my opponent wants to take a Lads adjusted coup, this is fine.
Oof.
Okay, that could have stopped Dom. And when we see Central here, we won't. We'll do. Is there anything to salt for that is VPs?
OPEC after he spaces it.
Yeah.
I would hold salt until he spaces, or until he spaces. We Will Bury You. And honestly, this is Cuban to me.
Yeah.
This is Cuban.
Because we decided to coup. Because we decided to coup with a 1-op instead of a 2, where it's 16. Yeah. So We Will Bury You doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Is NTB around? That's 3 VPs.
NTB is around.
NTB is 3, yeah. See, salt for NTB here is GG if we coup with nuke stubs.
I think opponents probably grain salesing here, but which changes that dynamic, but which is why I want to play Cuban.
Yeah, Cuban's reasonable. What does decal do? Okay, decal helps in Southeast Asia.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I wonder if opponent's going to
especially after this coup, you just put into all those little countries and it's 3 VPs.
Yeah.
Huh. Why didn't he event that?
Yeah, could have evented it. Would have gotten Cuban. So it wouldn't have been big, but he really wanted that 2-up coup on Panama. Needed a 6 to get to do anything. I would have triggered it, I think.
Looking for something to salt for. There's nothing there.
I would just take back Panama and I think take Indonesia here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fine.
I'm looking at this board from Michael's side and I'm thinking to myself, how did I get myself into this situation? This is I mean, credit to Justin here. I think he's played this solidly and well. I think Michael stumbled a little bit in South America in both games.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, the 10 VPs in South America, brutal here. As they always seem to be now. ABM, Brush, gone. Well, we have seen, and I was just about to say we haven't seen that one yet.
It turns out that would have been a better headline for him.
Yeah. Southeast Asia. Yeah, I think Junta would have been better. So Southeast Asia now is 2, but I think you've got to take Panama. I think you've got to use De Gaulle, 2 Panama, 1 Nicaragua, right?
Yeah.
I would have liked to stop the realigns, but okay.
Yeah, I think this is a case of not thinking the whole turn through because that's your coup card. When you want mill ops, you're going to want to do it with a 2-op, not a 3-op.
Yep. Okay, and there are the realigns. I would have wanted to force my opponent to coup it before he got those realigns.
Yeah, an opponent had bear trap too. All of the DEFCON degraders, or coup stealers, I should say.
Yep.
Uh,
I think you just score Southeast now, right?
yeah.
It's
Now
never
there's
going to get
nothing left
better.
to do.
I don't think you want to spend ops flipping Malaysia or Philippines. So yeah, let's take our two VPs. We can get one. We now are going to probably coup with nuke subs. We could salt for something.
I
Is
think
there something in the discard?
uh, opponent's gonna opponent's gonna space either OPEC or we will bury you, and then we'll salt for it.
Yeah.
I think. But that means we should probably actually coup with the goal if we're gonna salt, because otherwise DEFCON's gonna stay high.
Yeah. So bear trap gone, missile envy gone, grain gone. So limited hand attack options. Okay, well, if Michael scores central here for Dom, that would be 3. Get him to turn 7, but again, okay, there he does take the 3-op coup. Drop central here if he has it. Egypt
Yep.
still sitting there. Okay, there
Yeah.
is central. OPEC still is good enough
OPEC still
for
5, yeah.
GG. Um, I think this is a. I think we space nuke subs here for 1. Yep,
Yeah.
I like that. Nobody seems to want Egypt.
Yeah.
Okay, and there it is. But he picks up 2 VPs from space. Oh, I would have. I think I might have cooed with that. I might have cooed with that and salted AR7. Is that a thing?
I like one in Algeria. I think the one up coup is, yeah, especially now that you get Che. But
Yeah,
now you
I
salt.
just meant for mill ops. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just meant for mill ops. But
Yeah.
yes, yeah, I would absolutely coup here. Or excuse me,
Salt for
I
we will
would
bury
salt.
you, or
I think we will bear as long as we've seen UN. I like salting for we will bury you.
yeah.
Salting for salt for something that gets me VPs.
That's VPs as well though. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think it's
Now, yeah, OPEC
yeah.
is good enough now.
Now OPEC's
OPEC
good
gets
enough,
the
exactly.
6.
And there's nothing that if we get OPEC in our hand, there's nothing the opponent can do. And there's OPEC, and nothing
There it
scores
is.
before that. Alliance would have, I guess, but that's is Alliance a redraw here? I think it is.
Yeah, Alliance. Yeah, well, yeah, Alliance or Defectors are the only thing that would stop it, and we have both.
Yeah.
ABM, I guess, but
Yeah.
yeah, that'll do it.
All right. Well, congratulations to Justin for making it to the next round of the ITSL. I got to say, these weren't the most exciting games. They were both kind of, I'm not going to call them steamrollers, but I don't think there's that much Michael could do. But I still think Michael stumbled a little bit. I think he could have survived a little bit longer if he'd played South America different. What do you think?
I think I agree with you. So a couple questionable moves there. This game, I think Justin was going to be well ahead regardless, but this game could have been interesting, perhaps into the late war. I mean, you see Europe scoring right there, obviously. Justin with enough to get it there, but you score Europe. Bad stuff can happen in the late war, particularly because USA ahead in the space race. USA with the China card, so DEFCON possibilities exist. Pope was just invented. Europe control possibilities exist. So,
Yeah.
certainly the smart money would have been with Justin, even if a couple things go differently.
Yeah.
But would have been tough. But I
Yeah.
think Michael could have perhaps done a little bit better.
Yeah. I don't know if it's ITSL nerves or what, the playoff nerves. I know I have them when I get to the playoffs, which isn't, I don't always do, but you have a couple of weeks left until you get to play the playoffs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I've got Tim Furrow and Chris Shu are playing in their first round game. Winner of that will meet. I'm forgetting who now, and I'm really embarrassed. But I'm forgetting. David Chu. And then
Okay.
winner of that gets Chris Gentry. Winner of that gets me. So anxiously awaiting my ITSL start. Taking a little break after a tough losing streak, but I'll get back at it. Play some warm up games before I dive into my ITSL playoff games.
There's always RTSL too. Morning.
Yes.
RTSL Stalin. Where you and I should play at some point.
Yeah.
Not tonight
No,
though,
let's
because
do
I'm
it.
2 gin and tonics in.
Oh, there you go.
But
Very nice.
yeah, but I just want to say thank you to Justin for sending in this game, and good luck in the rest of the playoffs to him. And this was I'm really excited these ITSL playoffs have started. We've had a hard time sourcing games for a while, and now we both have both RTSL and the ITSL playoffs. So and the Champions League playoffs too, with those exciting Harib games, Harib and Ryan games the past couple of weeks. So we have a lot of interesting Twilight Struggle coming up during the summer. Right now, I have a lot of FOMO because so many people are gathering in Spain this weekend, and I couldn't go this year. Anxiously waiting to see both pictures and results from there. Who do you think is going to win that tournament?
Boy, I don't know. Is it so? Harib is going, right?
Harib is going, but Javier, who doesn't play ITSL, but is I think ranked number 2, 3 right now. Javier Coca.
Okay.
He's a very good player. Also with home turf advantage. It's like half of Spain is going to be in Basque Country playing Twilight Struggle this weekend.
You know what? I'm taking a dark horse. Give me Peter France to take down the trophy.
Okay.
Give me
like
Peter France to come in all the way from Turkey and take down these elite big name Spanish players and bring home the gold.
Okay. So you're calling Peter France. I'm gonna just have a quick look at the name, look at the list here. I'm not gonna say Harib. Too easy to say that. I'm not gonna say Alexei Labunko. I'm not gonna say George won last year, right? People get.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm gonna say Yarek this year. I'm gonna say Yarek Krishna.
That's a great choice.
I think it might be his turn.
Okay. Yeah, that's a solid choice.
Yeah. But I guess in a couple of days' time we'll know how it all ended up. And I see Eduardo, who's one of my possible ITSL opponents, is also playing this weekend. So yeah. Looking forward to seeing pictures and results and stories from there. Who evented Summit? Who died to DEF CON from a stupid miscounting of cards? It's the kind of things that happen when you play over the board. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to take this away from Justin and Michael. They played a good series. It's painful to see someone's ITSL season end like this. I don't know if you watched Peter's games with Ricky. They're also this tough kind of, you play all season, you get to the playoffs, and then you have 2 really tough deals. But that's the game we play, right?
Yeah. Yes, that is the game we play. It's very difficult. A couple of years ago, I was the top seed to not get a bye in the first round. I drew some nobody who was the very bottom seed, almost didn't even make it. Some guy named Michael Patnick.
Yeah.
And we know how that ended.
Yeah. Someone's going to get Zimovit in the same way this time, right? It's like.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you want to preview that for potentially next week?
Oh, right. It's who did we end up getting here? Do you want to announce that? See if they play this week.
Our hope is that next week at this time, so that will be Saturday the 21st, we'll have 2 guys that most of you never heard of. We'd love to introduce them to you, named Harib Flores and Zimut Pezdersky. They are meeting up in the ITSL Grand Final. Wait a minute. Second round, the second round of the playoffs. So we hope to bring you the entire series between those 2 guys next weekend. As soon as we can get them playing, we will get those recorded and get them on the air.
Yeah. So with that said, I hope everyone has a good weekend. Thank you, Justin, for doing this game with me. And the struggle continues is my sign off. Do you want to do yours?
Sure. That's going to do it for our coverage of Twilight Struggle today. Once again, Justin Kerr sweeps Michael Pustilnik to move on to the second round of the ITSL playoffs, 2-0. Thank you to our executive producer and my co-commentator, Anton Skott. Until next time, this is Justin Abramson signing off for now. That was fun, but now it's done. So long, everybody.
同意约热烈不禁。 I heard a young father, a very prominent young man in the entertainment world, addressing a tremendous gathering in California. It was during the time of the Cold War, and communism and our own way of life were very much on people's minds, and he was speaking to that subject. And suddenly, though, I heard him saying, "I love my little girls more than anything," and I said to myself, "Oh no, you don't say that." But I had underestimated him. He went on, "I would rather see my little girls die now, still believing in God, than have them grow up under communism and one day die no longer believing in God." Misunderstanding, and thereby remove yourself from the struggle between right and wrong.